I'd like to welcome everyone to the inaugural session of Bruce County Council. My name is Donna Vanwick, and I am the clerk for the County of Bruce and chair of this inaugural session. We will now proceed with the first item on the agenda, roll call. Councillor Buckle. Present. Councillor Eadie.
Present.
Councillor Eagleson. Present. Councillor Ingalls. Present. Councillor Jackson. Councillor McKeever. Councillor Smith. Present. Councillor Tulin. Present. I would now like to call upon Chief Administrative Officer Kelly Coulter for some remarks.
Thank you, Donna. Good morning, everyone, and I welcome everyone to the 2017 inaugural session. And I have a couple of comments, and most importantly, I think it's very important to remind the general public of the work that you, Warden Tulin, and Mayors Jackson, Eagleson, McIver, Eadie, Smith, Ingalls, and Buckle, what you took on during the past year. 2017 has been a year of tremendous accomplishments and successes. It is equally important, and on behalf of the senior management team and the citizens of Bruce County, to thank you, Warden Tulin, for your guidance and leadership throughout the last year. You were a terrific warden, not only in 2017, but equally in 2015 and 16. As well, to the members of County Council, we all thank you for your leadership, guidance, and support throughout 2017. Quite sincerely, it has been appreciated by all of us. Let us now turn attention to just talk about a few snippets of the accomplishment that your collective leadership created throughout 2017. Of course, with past Warden Oswald in the audience, I do want to recognize and the 150th birthday of Bruce County, and as co-chair, thank you for that work. A special thank you as well to all of Council for recognizing that our 150th birthday is a milestone that we really needed to celebrate. Equally, thank you for setting the vision of innovation and continuous improvement for the County of Bruce. As staff, we want to deliver more value to Bruce County every day in everything that we do. With corporate services, perhaps the biggest impact fiscally in 2017 has been the Integrated Energy Performance Project that has been underway at this building, the Administration Center, Bruce Lee Haven, Gateway Haven, and the Museum and Cultural Center. Under Betty Ann Cobain's leadership, this project was a significant investment for the County Council, and we will dramatically reduce our environmental footprint. In July, you also approved the new county website. The dynamic nature of this change has resulted in many accolades from across the province for Bruce County. Our new website is current, interactive, and highly informative. Under the portfolio of human resources, throughout 2017, external media has really covered the issue of mental health. All of you went out on a limb with staff on the need for our mental health program. You were ahead of the curve, and staff have worked throughout 2017 to advance this important program. It is complex and challenging, and I am proud that you were among the first to say, let's start the conversation. Director Marianne Nero has led the complex implementation of the mental health strategy, the PTSD, lockout, takeout, and cognitive ergonomics. It will be time before we see the impact of your vision in our workplace, but thank you for the courage and the leadership in this area. The former social services and housing, now I just made a mistake. I'm going to go on to health services, then move to human services. My apologies. In health services in 2017, County Council supported the recommendation to merge long-term care and paramedic services under one portfolio. The first director for the merged department, Mr. Michael McKeag, was recruited in July. The balance of the year has been spent on working to stabilize our operations in long-term care and to advance our quality of care without compromising our employees' overall health. We do have more work to do in this area, and with Director McCaig, the issues of our staff, in particular our scheduling, will be addressed to create and continue to deliver quality service. In the area of paramedic services, this may sound minor, but it's been a huge operational investment that all of you supported, which was the power assist stretchers for all of the ambulances. It has been an impactful change and immediately felt in terms of the well-being of the staff. Now we'll shift back to human services. In the fall of 2017, Council supported the recommendation to modernize our language so the social services and affordable housing has become human services. The team under Christine McDonald's guidance and leadership have continued to stabilize during what can best be said is a massive provincial ministry-driven service modernization. The Children's Services Program has advanced and matured to a very stable service delivery. The portfolio has completed a lot of really great work in the area of affordable housing. As stated a few meetings ago, Bruce County is the envy of many of our county neighbors. We have built our program with a focus towards sustainability for all clients, and in particular, to create sustainable bridges out of poverty. In library services, after years of working toward it, all of you were undoubtedly bursting with pride when Director Legacy advised that the entire library system received accreditation by SOLS this past summer. A testament to Melissa's dogged determination, her vision, leadership, and guidance to the entire team in library services is that the single biggest contributor, has been the single biggest contributor that all 17 branches in our library services received the accreditation. A big highlight as well in library services was being the Business Burden Reduction Partnership with Economic Development. To Council, your leadership has allowed our team to be, again, provincially recognized for their work. With the Museum and Cultural Center, as visionaries, you took a really significant step to advance the work for the feasibility study at the museum. It took a lot of courage and a desire to support the social development of the region. The museum equally is the envy of many in the province, and your support has made that happen. Equally, your support for the work of the museum team under Kathy McGurr leadership and allowed the county to advance our First Nations exhibit, which has been a significant undertaking, and thank you for your support and guidance in that area. In planning and development, the Economic Development Program and the partnership with Bruce Power has been a significant investment for the county, and you made that happen. Your guidance and commitment has permitted these two initiatives to really advance in 2017. All of you, I am sure, were proud of staff when Bruce County received the Gold Cup at the EDAC conference this past summer. Director Chris LaForce continues to evolve the economic development and corporate policy portfolio. It's very important to me to highlight at this stage that staff are very proud of all of and appreciative of all of your leadership as County Council to make that happen. It has been a big portfolio change and has impacted the county as a whole. In transportation and environmental services, the modernization of the name change for the department and the operational review were completed in July. The team under Brian Knox's leadership advanced the West Road environmental assessment and allowed for I'm almost fearful to say this publicly, but I will. Just for the record, it's a preliminary suggested solution to the shared, that was shared with all of the county in September and October. Of equal importance, and again, all of you have articulated this as well, was the realignment and upgrade to Bruce Road 1 north of Highway 9. And often I get said that when a road is redesigned and reconstructed in Bruce County, when you go on it after it's been done, you think it was always that way. It doesn't, it's a very gentle footprint when the change occurs. So in closing, in 2017, Bruce County's 150th birthday, it has been a terrific year. And again, thank you all for your leadership throughout the year. Warden Toolen and members of County Council, congratulations. You've had a terrific year, and thank you again for your guidance and leadership throughout the year. I will now pass it back to Clerk Van Wyk.
Thank you, Madam CAO. If required, today's election of the 2018 warden will be by secret ballot. And at this time, I would like to introduce Tammy Grove McClement and Julia Fisher from Grove McClement and Fisher, solicitors for the County of Bruce. If an election is required, Ms. Grove McClement will act as the returning officer pursuant to Section 9N of the county's procedure bylaw. Ms. Coulter, the county's chief administrative officer, and I will act as scrutineers under Section 9O. We will now proceed with the election of the 2018 warden as provided for under County of Bruce Bylaw 2017-024. I will now accept nominations for the position of warden for the County of Bruce for 2018. Are there any further nominations? Are there any further nominations? For a third and final time, are there any further nominations? Being no further nominations, I would like a verbal motion to declare nominations closed. Moved by Councillor Toolen, seconded by Councillor Smith, that nominations for the position of warden for 2018 be closed. All those in favor? Opposed? The motion is carried. I will now confirm if Councillor Eagleson wishes to let his name stand for the position of warden for 2018. Thank you. Name stand for the election of warden for 2018. It is my pleasure to declare that Paul Eagleson is elected warden of the County of Bruce for 2018. Congratulations, Warden Eagleson, and if you would please come forward. I would like to call upon Councillor Mitch Toolen to present Warden Eagleson the chain of office. CAO Kelly Coulter will now present the warden's pin. I would like to call upon Tammy Grove McClement to come forward and administer the oath of office.
So repeat after me. I, Paul Eagleson,
I, Paul Eagleson,
do solemnly promise and declare
do solemnly promise and declare
that I will truly, faithfully, and impartially,
faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
to the best of my knowledge and ability,
execute the office of Warden of the County of Bruce,
execute the office of the Warden of the County of Bruce,
to which I have been elected in this municipality,
to which I have been elected in this municipality,
that I have not received
that I have not received,
and will not receive any payment or reward
will not receive any payment or reward,
or promise thereof
or promise thereof,
for the exercise of any partiality
for the exercise of any partiality
or malversation
or malversation
or other undue execution of such office,
or other undue execution of such office,
and that I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
that I will disclose any pecuniary interest,
direct or indirect,
direct or indirect,
as required by
as required by
and in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
and in accordance with the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act.
And I make this solemn declaration,
And I make this solemn declaration,
consciously believing it to be true,
consciously believing it to be true,
and know that it is that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
and know that it is of the same force and effect as if made under oath.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I can take this.
At this time, I will turn it over to Warden Eagleson for his remarks.
Oh. Well, first of all, I want to thank my nominator and my seconder. I consider this an absolute honor to be acclaimed by my peers to the office of Warden of this county of Bruce, to the greatest county anywhere in this great province of Ontario, to which I've had the pleasure to live in my entire life. Thank you, everyone. I'll do my very best not to disappoint you. I want to introduce some folks that are here that have traveled all the way from Erin Ellerslie and some from Saugeen Shores to be with us today. I appreciate that. I'll work with some staff. I want to thank and introduce the absolute best administrator clerk anywhere in the county of Bruce is here today, Mrs. Peggy Rouse. Thank you, Peggy, for coming this morning. Mark Davis, next to Peggy, we'll just go in the order. There is no stranger to most of you, and Mark's dad was a past warden, I think in the early 70s, Mark, of the county of Bruce, Mr. Harvey Davis. Next to Mark is Doug Bell from our ward councillor in Chesley. Thanks, Doug, for coming. And of course, the gentleman that just celebrated a birthday last week. We won't say which one, Ron. The past mayor and past warden of Bruce County, Ron Oswald, and Kelly touched on it. Ron we'll hear more about it, I guess, at our next meeting about Ron co-chaired our 150th committee and the amount of days and miles. You were a busy guy, Ron, and we want to thank you very much for that, but I think at the next meeting you'll be properly thanked. I also see a couple of very special people in my life here today. I didn't think that was going to happen. Jennifer's unable to be here today. She's minding the store and worried about the weather, but I see that our oldest son, Philip, has made it today. Thank you, Phil. I guess it's Phil now. Can't call him Philip anymore. Phil's made it. Philip lives just a couple hundred feet east of Saugeen Shores in the beautiful municipality of Erin Ellerslie. And with him is his son, William, my oldest grandson, my favorite grandson. And thank you, William, from taking the day off, the morning off school. I guess you got soccer this afternoon somewhere in Walkerton, and thank you ever so much. It means a lot to Grandpa to see you here. If anyone asked me what I see as Bruce County's greatest assets It's a very simple question for me to answer, and that's in our staff. The County of Bruce has been very blessed over the years to have quality staff, and we still do. And I want to thank each and every one of them for their hard work, their dedication, right from the top dog all the way down the chain of command, including Brian for that. So it's been great. So thank you, staff, and I know 2018 is going to remain a busy year. I also would be remiss to mention a few kind words towards our fearless leader, Mitch Toolen. Mitchell, the last 3 years, I'm sure have been very, very busy. And even in that busy time with the 150th and everything else, you even found time to get yourself married off, and you've been a busy guy. Hopefully you're looking forward to slowing down a little bit. And I know some of your agents might like to see you in the office once in a while. That'd be different. But Mitchell, your 3 years plus a few years back, you've served the County of Bruce for 4 years as warden, and in our recent history, you made history. And the good part of all that too, Mitchell, is that you got lots of time because of your youthful age to do the job again someday, and we look forward to that. So thank you, Mitchell, for your leadership and your guidance. You've done a fantastic job representing the County of Bruce all through this province. How do we show our appreciation, folks? It was in 1995 that I had the pleasure to do this job, and the basic responsibilities are much the same of advocating the County of Bruce as the place, and the County of Bruce, the organization, are still the same in my opinion. Much has changed, much positive change. And I'm so proud of Bruce County that we will continue to change, to always be on the cutting edge and admired right across this province. I know that our library system, there's many, many counties and regions that are very envious of our library system. It's definitely top drawer, I guess, eh? Then at the just to bore you with a bit of history, it was back in 1995. I was worried all day yesterday that we were never going to have a similar event today. It was back in 1995 when I was running for the warden. There was another gentleman running as well, and declared, and about Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning, the roads were closing down. It was storming like crazy. She was a good old Bruce County storm that was going to be pretty difficult for the roads were all closed in the peninsula. And back then we went to the Walkerton Community Center and had quite a evening. We met the evening before County Council and had an election and had some refreshments, some food, some dancing, some music. But back then too, in 94 and even in 95, Betty Anna, correct me, we also elected back then the members to the Highways Committee. And that, the people wanting to run on the Highways Committee had to be nominated and elected, and that created, quite frankly, it created more interest and than what the race for the warden. And the race for the warden always had 2 or 3 in it. You remember, it had 32 members back then, so. But it started storming that the two of us that were running in Betty Ann decided it was too risky to try and get people down to Walkerton because they don't know how you're going to get them home even if you got them here. that it was called off, and we went to this format. He says, well, we'll just have an election a few minutes before the meeting tomorrow. So it's been good format. I think if you want to go back to the old system, then we'll discuss that. But it was a lot of. I can assure you, the morning come quite quickly back then, in those days. As far as what I see happening in 2018, or what I hope to happen, it's a decision of County Council, and most of those decisions, because of us, the way we set our annual business plan and our budget, that's been achieved. That's been complicated. Just a couple of the larger projects that we have approved and will be ongoing is, I realize it's maybe not, doesn't involve a whole lot of county work now that we've contracted out, is the McCurdy Bridge. That's a huge project of $4 million that we've approved, and 3.2, I guess, from the county, and another 800 from Brockton and Aaron Ellerslie. So that's going to be ongoing real soon. And in the budget, we also approved some preliminary plans. Hopefully we can get some plans and some drawings created for a new paramedic station that's up in Saugeen Shores. It's time and it's much needed. I'm not suggesting we'll get construction started in 2018, but hopefully we can get the planning and the drawings done and whatnot, that at least they can go to tender for maybe construction in late 18 or 19. Another project that Mitchell and I and Marianne have worked a lot of hours on, a lot of years, 7 years actually, I guess, Mitchell, that is our Bruce Gas project. I realize it's not really a Bruce County initiative, but it will have a very positive effect on all of Bruce County. The economic benefit of having natural gas. Our three communities form the largest area in all of Ontario that doesn't have natural gas. I'm very optimistic. It's not about if we're getting gas, it's now about when we're getting gas, and we are patiently awaiting the final word from the OEB as to which proponent will be constructing our gas system, and we've got our fingers crossed, hoping that we're going to get that good word even before Christmas is what we're hoping, but in the very near future. So it's exciting. I think I got to be careful here. What I say, Kelly wrote this out for me, and I have to make sure I should have got some new glasses too. Hi, golly, I think that's it. There's lots to be done. I know we talked about the McCurdy Bridge, but I think we're also probably embarking on the mill. What is that again, Brian?
I believe it's the Mill Creek Bridge.
Yeah, the Mill Creek Bridge up in Port Elgin to be able to accommodate that subdivision. So we're not very far away from hopefully being able to approve that and move that project forward and move that subdivision. So last week we opened up the Arborflex building in Paisley. That was very exciting. It's nice to see that building getting used again. So there sure is a lot of positive economic activity happening in Bruce County, and that will continue into 18 and 19 and 20. And other than we'll hear more real soon about our one of the largest projects, of course, in the county too, will be the high-speed internet SWIFT program that Mitchell's been sitting on for 3 years, and it'll make some advances. So there's much to be done, a little time to do it. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. So thank you again, everyone, for your support, and I hope that it was in 1995 when I was the warden, and you can do the math. I was a bit younger, obviously. One would hoped that over that course of time, one may have matured a little bit and not cut up quite as much, but in my case, I'm not so sure that happened. You know what I mean, Dave? Hey? Yeah. But I'll do my best to keep my silliness to a bare minimum and do the business of the County of Bruce. Again, thank you everyone for your support, and thank you folks for coming today.